yourself a chair that you can sit on toward the end of the lesson, not too soft, has a little bottom to it. Okay? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And so we're going to do a lesson today with the lungs, specifically to, strengthen the lungs for this whole COVID situation. We got another minute. Missing the beginning of the lesson, people then don't understand the model that we're working from, and they can't make a comparison later. So it's important to know where we're starting and what we bring in for comparison. Otherwise, you just jump into the lesson and you play catch up. So, dealing with the lungs, right? So if you could sit up or just pay attention however you want, we all have certain ideas about what we call deep breathing, deep breathing. Part of the Feldenkrais method is, in a sense, at times, to debunk misconceptions about how we use our bodies, right? And how we improve ourselves, right? A lot of the times, listen, there's a lot of self-improvement through the body out there that I feel doesn't lead to improvement. It actually leads to the opposite, right? But because people say it improves you, you go, a lot of people just, if you say it, if it's written, it's true. That's one of the problems out there in the world today. If it's written and it's said, it's true. So we all know. Interesting, I was just reading this morning a piece by a very prominent doctor, an anatomist at a certain teaching situation at a big university. I don't want to go into his name or anything, but he mentions a lot of good stuff about the lungs and how the lungs function and this and that. And then at the end of the lecture, he says, "Okay, now everybody take a deep breath and enjoy." And I just said, "Do they know how to take a deep breath?" So listen to me. We all go to the doctor, and the doctor does this thing where he puts a stethoscope on you, right? And he says to you, now listen, I can see already some of you are thinking, oh, what should I do? What does he want me to do? Forget that. The doctor says, take a deep breath. The stethoscope is on your back. Take a deep breath. Go ahead, take it. Come on, do it for the doctor. Take a deep breath. What do you do? Take the deep breath. What do you do? Are you taking a deep breath? I don't know what the hell you're doing. Take a deep breath. What do you do when you take a deep breath? Some of you, I don't see, is that what you do for the doctor? How do you take a deep breath? Take a deep breath. What do you feel when you take a deep breath? What do you feel? How do you know you're breathing deeply? What moves? Does your chest move? Does your abdomen move? Do your ribs move? Anybody? Anybody feeling any movement in the doctor says, take a deep breath. What moves?
Diaphragm.
Your diaphragm? Does your chest move? Does your abdomen move? You take a deep breath, right? Right? All right, stop taking a deep breath because that's not a deep breath. And this is how we're going to debunk this misconception of what a deep breath is. That is not a deep breath. So lie on your backs now, nice and easy with yourself. Take your time. And just pay attention to yourselves lying on the floor. Nice and easy. And now just lying on the floor with yourself like that, right? Take a deep breath. Go ahead, and do whatever you do. Let the chest move, your abdomen, whatever you do to take a deep breath, take it. And then just let it go, right? Just let it go. Take your deep breath and let it go. By the time, take a deep breath and let it go. If you can't do this, then you can't do the lesson because you don't know what we're doing after this. Take a deep breath and let it go. All right, so feel your chest move, feel your tummy move, and I'm telling you that that's not a deep breath. All right, so now watch. I want you to take a deep breath by not moving your chest, by not moving your tummy, by just inhaling easily through your nose so that you can feel your lungs move inside. Not your ribs, not your chest, not your abdomen. Just feel your lungs move inside. Anybody feel the differentiation between when you move your chest, your back, your this, your that, and then you just move the lungs? And I'm going to tell you that you just took a much deeper breath, even though it feels easier. That's the Feldenkrais method, right? You just took a much deeper breath with yourself. You just took a much deeper breath. We only take in about 3/4 of a liter when we breathe in air. And Feldenkrais said if you can just increase that by 1/4 of a liter, which is a third more, that's a big improvement. So again, do it again. Take a deep breath using your chest, your back, your muscles, do all of that. And you could start to feel how that actually, see if you could start to feel how that actually interferes with the lungs expanding. And then do it without any of the chest, the abdomen, the back, the ribs, and just let your lungs expand inside and start to feel the difference. That sensory experience of the chest moving, that's awareness. That's of the lungs moving, that's awareness. Without the chest, without the abdomen, that the lungs are expanding inside you. Very gently, very easily, right? Now, stand your feet. You got to listen today. Some of you still are not very good at listening. You think you're listening. And what you think you're listening to is what you're hearing, but you're not hearing what I'm saying, which is different than listening to me, right? As you're breathing there, this breath is an unconscious process. So what does that mean? It means that breathing is reflexive. It means that your breathing is a reflexive process. There's a reflexive process. So how does the reflexive process work with your lungs? Well, it works like this. When you inhale, there's a reflex that stops you from over expanding the lungs. And then when you exhale, when you retract the lungs, there's another reflex, which is a different reflex, that stops the lungs from retracting too much. So on a reflexive level, you strengthen the lungs through knowing how to strengthen the reflexes. Well, how do you do that? Well, that's Feldenkrais, right? That's Feldenkrais. And you do it by the first thing. Pay attention now. Get rid of your phones. Get rid of everything. It's getting in the way of your life right now. Everybody, stop with this. As you're breathing now, I'm going to say to you, just breathe slowly. Really slowly. And pay attention. Use your awareness, because with Feldenkrais, we use our awareness, which is a conscious process, to have an effect upon the unconscious, the reflexive process. So as you breathe slowly, What does it mean to breathe slowly? What do you actually do to breathe slowly? Right? Pay attention. What do you actually do to breathe slowly? Well, this is what Feldenkrais said. This is what he means by breathing slowly. Pay attention. You're going to take now short breaths, short, quick breath in and out. Short, quick breath. Not with effort, in and out. A short, quick breath, in and out. And guess what? This is what breathing slowly is. Take your time. You might not, because your common sense is brought into question here. You don't get it, so take your time. As you inhale, soft and easy, light. As you exhale, quickly out. And go easy with yourself. If you listen to your breath now, can you hear it? If you hear any of your breathing, that's effort. That's not slow breathing. You're making effort. Even at the lowest, slightest sound. So inhale and exhale quickly, lightly. What does that mean? You inhale and then you quickly let it go. And then you inhale again and you not sniff, not pull in, inhale, softly, easy. And then you quickly let it go. Just easy, just easy. In Feldenkrais lingo, this is slow breathing. I'm sorry. It goes against your common sense. This is slow breathing, and you will find that your breathing starts to regulate itself much better. And you also find, without any effort, that your lungs are expanding easily. You don't need to be moving your chest, your abdomen. It's all happening inside, so nice and easy. Not a large movement, an easy movement. It's like the rest of Feldenkrais, small, easy, soft breathing, right? Right? Easy. Air comes in, it leaves. Air comes in, it leaves. And your breathing will start to slow down and regulate itself. Easy, easy. Air comes in, it leaves. You need to feel your lungs, not feel your body, your hips, don't have your hands on you. You want to really feel your lungs as you breathe in and out. That the lungs are sucking, pulling the breath in, and the lungs are pushing it out, right? Your lungs are like upside down trees or an upside down Y. I like to think of it as my spine and my two legs. That's the shape of my lungs, right? And then you have a trachea where the breath comes in. Pay attention now, the breath comes in at the nose, goes down the back of the mouth, goes down into the trachea. Just feel that if that's clear to you. As you breathe in and let it go, just feel the trachea. And then from the trachea, it branches off right and left into the bronchi, and then into the bronchioles, and then all the way at the end, like a tree, all the way at the end, the leaves are the alveoli, the little sacs of air. That's where COVID does its damage, the little sacs of air all the way at the end. Because that's where blood, oxygen is taken from the blood and sent to the heart. And then it goes around on one cycle through the whole body and then comes back into the heart as carbon, and it comes back into the alveoli as carbon. And then the exhalation brings out the carbon, right? So you breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon. During a cycle of a day, you breathe in 40% of the time and you breathe out. 40% capacity of the time it's breathing is taken in, and 60% goes to taking out the carbon. So as your lungs as you have more access to your lungs, your breathing gets easier. The lower down you go in the lung to get more carbon out, that's coming right from the alveoli. That's what we're looking at today. So nice and easy. So now just put your attention as you're doing this nice, easy breathing through the nose, in and out, not taking a lot of time, not taking big breaths, the phony breaths that you think are the deep breathing ones. Pay attention to your right shoulder, to the lung inside the right shoulder, and how that lung pulls air up toward the right shoulder, into your right clavicle, into your scapula, the back of the lung. Just pay attention to that as you're breathing in. That feeling, this is the upper lobe. You have 3 lobes on your right lung. Upper, middle, lower. This is the upper lobe of the right lung. Just feel the air, how it goes down the trachea, into the bronchi, and up to the lung, up to the upper right corner of your chest. An interesting thing starts to happen when you breathe like this. All your little aches and pains and all the stuff that perturbs you starts to come up. Why? Why? Because in your compensatory behavior, right, to not feel whatever it is that's bothering you, you change your breathing. You compensate with your breathing. There is no other way. It's the main reflexive action, way before you started muscular work and stretching and this work and all of that. It all starts with your lungs. So just feel how the upper right lobe underneath your, right, as you inhale, and then as you inhale now, feel the lower right lobe down by your liver. A different feeling, right? The upper right lobe, it's like it's pulled in. When you do the lower right lobe, it's like it expands. It's like it's being pushed out. The lobe itself is being pushed out. So on the upper right lobe, it's like it's pulling in, and on the lower right lobe, the lobe is expanding. Pay attention. This is where awareness really comes into play. So you feel the lower right lobe as you inhale now, easy. Every time you inhale, you feel the lower right lobe expand. Now go to the middle, the middle bronchi that goes into the middle of your lung on the right side. And feel that expand. This is more difficult to actually feel and sense, so take your time. Imagine that it's expanding as you inhale, the middle lobe of the right lung. Again, follow it, comes down, follow the air passage. It comes down your nostrils, down the back of your mouth, down your trachea, into the middle of your lung. And it expands when you breathe in. Just pay attention to inhaling right now. And now pay attention to all 3 lobes on the right side as you inhale. The upper, the middle, the lower. Just feel them all as you inhale. Soft and easy. The whole lung is expanding. Front, back, toward the floor, out to the sides. In toward your spine, too, if you pay attention. That's the most difficult to sense. All the way around, the lung is expanding, the right lung. Good. And then let that go, straighten your legs and rest. And just get a sense of what feels different on your right side, your right lung, your right hip. Just notice how the breathing feels different on the right side, the right lung. You can really sense now, if you pay attention, how much deeper the breathing is on the right lung than it is on the left lung. Much deeper. And by trying to force air, if you think about it, when you do your deep breathing, forcing air into the left lung, the lung starts to contract. The muscles around the lung start to contract, and the lung can't really expand because all the muscles around it are contracted. Stand your feet, please. And now pay attention to your upper left lobe as you inhale. On the left side of the chest, the upper chest, the front of the chest toward the clavicle, the back of the chest toward the scapula, the side of the chest out toward the top of the arm. Feel it expanding as you inhale. Easy. And do those short breaths. You don't have to make them quick, just short, soft. It's almost like a very pure breath without any muscular work going on. Easy. And you feel the lung expand. So most people, if we go back to the beginning, when you breathe deeply, what they do is they expand their chest, they expand their tummy, they pull their ribs, they do all of this action, and the lungs can't move. You get shallow breathing. Easy. The upper left lobe. Feel it move as you inhale. Now, there's only two lobes, bronchs, on the left side because the heart's in the middle. Go to the lower left lobe now, and the left lung is about 10% smaller than the right. Take your time. Feel the lower left lobe expanding on the left. Easy. Every time you take that short inhalation, pay attention, stay with this. Leave yourself alone and stay with it. Leave yourself alone and stay with yourself. Really, that's what's going on. All the fidgeting, digiting, dadgeting, poking and jerking and touching and all of that is a way of not staying with the moment right now. And now feel both lobes, the upper left, the lower left. Feel the whole left lung expanding on the inhalation, nice and easy. Feel the lung inside the chest, all the way down the side, in the rib cage, all the way down toward the just above the top of your pelvis on the left side. Feel it expanding. Very light, very easy, which then strengthens and makes your reflexes better. The reflex action of the lung. It's the same thing, like in certain athletics, they tell people do not get muscle bound because it slows them down. It slows down their reflexes. Well, most people, when they exercise, they don't know it in doing strengthening exercises. They're actually taking away from their reflexes. They become slower, more labored, staccato, rather than smooth and light. So feel the lung, how smooth and light each inhalation on the left. Good. Straighten your legs and rest again, taking your time, and just feel both of your lungs. Now listen, remember what we did at the beginning? Right now, don't make any effort. Don't use your chest, your abdomen, your ribs. Very soft, very easy. Take a deep breath without any effort, without any noise. And do it short and quick. You don't need to keep sucking in. That's effort. Just short and quick. And feel the lungs expand on both sides. You're increasing your lung capacity. You're getting more carbon out of your lungs in this way. Stand your feet again, please. Easy. Stand your feet again. Easy. Now slowly go back to your right lung now, but now pay attention to the whole lung, the upper lung, the middle lung, the lower lung, and now pay attention to the exhalation. And as you exhale, feel how the upper part of the lung retracts, the lower part of the lung retracts, the middle of the lung retracts. The whole lung, like a balloon where you're letting the air out of the balloon, that kind of feeling. Easy. Pay attention to the exhalation. And you just inhale and leave it be. Just pay attention. Forget the inhalation right now. Just pay attention to the exhalation. Easy. And again, feel how it retracts, how the lung retracts. Good. Now, let go of that. Do the same thing with your left lung, with the two lobes on the left. You start to pay attention to the exhalation. Let the lower lobe and the upper lobe retract. Like balloons, the air is being let out. Soft. Don't do long exhalations. The shorter you make the exhalation and feel the lung retract, the more the reflex starts to get involved. The more you do, the less the reflex does. Okay? Easy. Feel the left lung retracting. Good. Please let that go. Straighten your legs and rest again. And just feel how you lie on the floor now, where your back is contacting the floor, the back of your hips, your shoulder blades. And then what's different about the sense of breathing? Pay attention to the inhalation, exhalation, and to the movement of the lungs, not to the chest, the abdomen. All of that's very at ease. Just let the lungs expand inside and retract inside. From top to bottom. Very nice, very easy with yourself. Now, as you're inhaling, just picture in your mind's eye, think in your mind's eye of the lung. Just think of the lungs expanding inside you. Think of it. And as you're exhaling, think of the lungs inside you retracting. Think of it. Just think of it. This is how the mental and the physical can be work together. What we do with the lungs is the same as what we do with muscle, tendon, ligament. They expand reflexively and they contract reflexively. When you overexpand a muscle, when you stretch too much, there's the stretch reflex. It pulls it back in. When you overcontract a muscle, there's the tendon, the Golgi tendon reflex. Stops the contraction. If that doesn't stop the contraction and you keep going further, you go into spasm. And that'll stop you contracting. And it hurts like hell. Yeah. So just easy now. Think with your mind's eye as you inhale. Feel it, see it inside you. The lung expands. The lung retracts as you exhale. Guess what? Your lungs just got stronger. And this is for me, to my way of thinking, this is like the epitome of Feldenkrais work. I'm doing nothing and they got strong? Yes. And your lungs come before your muscles, by the way, in your developmental stages, right, in the embryo. So the lungs, this kind of movement is endogenous throughout the whole system, whether it be respiratory, circulatory, muscular, at all levels, lymphatic. Right. Easy, good, easy, nice and easy, good. So one more time, listen now, go nice and easy, see what you do. I am the doctor and I say to you, take a deep breath. Just let your lungs expand inside. And if the doctor says, no, use your chest and all that, you turn around and say, Doc, you don't know what a deep breath is. Most of them don't, I'm sorry, Easy. The ability at the reflexive level of the lungs to expand and retract. Easy. Good. Let it go. And just feel yourself on the floor, feel your breathing. And let's slowly bring our feet to standing. And you're going to come up to sitting with yourself. Now, some of you can sit on the floor and do this if you sit easily with your, in the yoga position with your feet crossed. You know how you cross your feet? Or some of you can sit in a chair. Don't sit with your legs long. It's not going to work. Either you sit in a chair or sit with your legs crossing together. So, but you got to be comfortable, right? You have to be comfortable, right? So now we're dealing with the lungs. In dealing with the lungs, there are two areas in the body, two prime areas that are involved with the lungs. Your ribs, obviously, and your diaphragm, right? So we're gonna look at that now. So nice and easy. And if you're in a chair, please do not be sitting on the back of the chair. Sit away from the back of the chair. All right, now, so if you, just nice and easy, if you just, listen, just let your head hang down a little so your chin comes toward your chest. Now, pay attention. Do that without rounding your back. Just let the head hang down. And now, in that position, with your head hanging down, your chin coming toward your chest, without rounding the back, without going like, your whole back round, just bring the head down easy. So you're folding at the cervical vertebra. And now take your hands, interlace your fingers, and put them behind your head, not your neck, behind your head. Look, as your head looks down. And now, don't pull with your arms. Let the arms hang so that the weight of the arms are just hanging back there. Listen, easy, easy, easy. And just now, do your short little breathing. No, first start, just breathe in and let the breath go down through your nostrils, down the back of your mouth, down into your trachea. Just feel what that's like in this position. Some of you, it's going to be difficult. Take your time. Take your time. You're breathing in, and you feel your lungs as you do that. Just feel what your lungs do. Easy. Some of you, listen, look at me. Your arms are out like that. You got to bring them in so that your head is down and the arms are just hanging. You're not pulling. The weight of the arms are just hanging. That's it. And now inhale, easy. Just feel the breath go down. Feel what happens in your lungs What happens in your lungs when you inhale? Can you feel your lungs? Can you feel what happened at the back of your chest? Right? Easy. Inhale. Do you feel the back of your rib cage open? Out toward the sides? Easy. Does your head seem to move at all? Just pay attention. Just pay attention. Easy. As you inhale, do the soft, easy breathing as you inhale, right? Easy, easy. Now, imagine that you're just breathing into your right lung. Do the right lung again. The right lobe, the upper lobe, the middle lobe, the lower lobe. Do your right lung. As you take that short, quick breath, feel your right lung. And just notice what happens when you do that in your chest, your back, your shoulders. Just the right lung, just the right lung. Easy, just the right lung. Just the right lung. Easy, easy, just the right lung. Just the right lung. Have the elbows in front of you, not out to the side, not behind you. Have the elbows in front of you. And inhale through your nose, just the right lung. Feel the right lung. Does it expand? Does it seem to jump inside your torso there? You know, like it slides actually. The whole right lung. If, and there's a big if here, if your ribs and your diaphragm are working easily and properly, your right lung will slide. For a lot of you, it's just hard being in this position, so I know your right lung is not sliding, so take your time. Don't worry about it. You're learning. Easy, easy, easy. Good. And then just bring your arms down and rest. And just feel your right side. What do you notice in your right side? What's different about your right side as you sit there and rest? Let your hands be easy on your thighs there or somewhere. Just let them be easy. Try not to cross or clench your hands. It interferes. Yeah. Good. Now, once again, look down with your head, interlace your fingers in the opposite, in the other way, the non-habitual way, and put it behind your head. Interlace them, put it behind your head, and start to inhale. Easy, small inhalations again into your left lung. Just feel it. Easy, take your time feeling the left lung. Does the left lung seem to jump a little or not? Does it seem to elongate? Does your head move? Does your chest move as you do this? Because some of you can't fold. You can't access the full advantage of the lungs. So do small. Let your head look down, look with your eyes. Don't pull with your arms, you're just gonna wind up being sore. Don't do any of that. Just inhale, soft, feeling the left lung expand. How does it expand? Can you feel it go from the bottom of your tush up through your shoulder blade? Easy, can you feel that? The bottom of your tush up to your shoulder blade. Easy, easy, easy. This right now, what you're doing, folks, can be a life-saving process that you start to work more and more with the alveoli and the reflex response, that you don't know how to get there, and you keep doing this as an exercise or something like that, and you don't listen to the awareness that's needed, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to stay stuck where you are. Take your time. Just inhale, feel the lung slide or not slide. What happens in the front of your chest? What happens at the back? Easy. Bring your arms down, rest again. Rest again, just rest. Rest. So two things can be happening here. You could be failing or you could be disturbed. And both of them are very important for learning. Both are very important for learning, your disturbance and your failure. Because if you're not disturbed and you're not failing, you're just doing what you already know how to do. And that's not cutting it. So when you think you're succeeding, you're really failing. When you learn how to fail, then you start to learn a new way to succeed. All right? So once again now, let the head come down, interlace your fingers, put them behind your head, and just breathe. Feel what happens now when you do that. You're sitting up. You're not on the floor. You're sitting up. And feel you're on your chair. And feel what happens now when you inhale. Feel that. Do your lungs seem to expand at the back, the ribs, the shoulders? When you really, really do a really natural, easy little inhalation, you're going to feel your head moves up a little. You're going to feel the front of your chest jumps a little. If it's not, it means you're not really taking soft, easy little inhalations. Look down with your head let the head come down. Let your elbows be in front of you. Yeah. And some of you want so badly just to get it right. It's not about getting it right. It's about staying with your experience right now. And the rightness will find you. Don't pull on anything. Good. Easy. Good. Let that go. Bring your arms down. You rest again. Just come up to standing for a second with yourself. All you failures. Come on, you failures. Stand up. And just feel what's different in your lungs, your arms, the way that you stand. Now listen. As you're standing there, can you feel the lungs inside your torso breathing you rather than you having to breathe them? That they expand inside the torso. Pay attention to that. Inside your torso, the lungs are breathing. You don't need to breathe. You need to let them breathe. And you will see that they breathe a lot shorter, a lot smaller than you think they are, and they get slower. See if you could take a little walk and pay attention to the lungs breathing. No. Some of you lost it already. As soon as you go off real quick, you lost it. You have no idea. You can't do it like that. You have to pay attention to the lungs and then move. You have to pay attention to the lungs and then move. You have to let your lungs be free inside you and then move. It's not easy. Come back to sitting, please. Come back to sitting, nice and easy. And however you were sitting, easy. Take your right hand and put your right hand, the palm of your right hand, on top of your head. So it's resting on top of your head. Your elbow is out to the right, not in front of you now, right? And now bring your head to the right a little, toward your right shoulder, not a lot. So you feel the ribs on your right scrunch up. The ribs on your right side get shorter, right? Now, in that position, do your soft, easy inhalation and elongate your lung. Keep the head over to the side, the ribs are scrunched up, and you inhale that short, and you feel your lung get longer in the scrunched up ribs. Easy, easy, easy. What happens in the ribs when you inhale and the lungs get longer? You can't make it happen. You have to pay attention here. If you're trying to make it happen, you're working against yourself. You're shortening the lung again. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. Pay attention to the right lung. Feel it. Does it slide inside your torso or not? Easy. Easy. Now bring your head over so that your left ear goes toward the left shoulder and your elbow goes up toward the ceiling above you. No, the right arm stays on your head and your right elbow goes up toward. Now, same thing. Inhale, easy, and let your lung expand now. Feel what your ribs are doing. Easy, come on. So the head goes toward the right ear. The head goes toward the right ear, left ear, I'm sorry. Your head goes toward your left ear. Slowly. Keep it there. And inhale. No, not while. Don't move the head. The head stays over And you inhale, and the lung is what needs to move, not your head, not your ribs. Your lung needs to move. That's the whole idea of what we're doing here. No matter how scrunched up your ribs are, your lung needs to move. Easy, easy, easy. Good. Let that go. Bring the arm down. Good. Come up to standing for a sec. And just feel your right side. What's different? Come on, don't fix yourself. Don't leave yourself alone. Stop bothering with yourself. Just leave yourself alone so you can really feel what's going on right now. What's different on the right side? Right arm, right lung, right side of your face. Feel what's different. Good. Come back to sitting again. Interlace your fingers, put them behind your head again, look down, let the head hang, interlace. And let your right lung jump, let your right lung elongate again. Feel what's different now. What's different? Can you feel the right lung sliding more? Does your head seem to move? Inhale into your right lung. Inhale into your right lung. What happens? What happens? Good. Let that go, right? Bring your arms down. Put your left hand on top of your head. The palm of the left hand, the left elbow out to the left. Bring your left ear toward your left shoulder. Stay there. Don't move your head. Don't move your arm. Inhale into your left lung. Let your left lung slide as you contract the ribs. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Again, the ribs, the action of the ribs is a reflexive schemata, right? A reflexive schemata. That's what we're after. We're not after willpower. We're not after muscles. We're after using the reflective activity, the reflexive activity of the lungs. You can't structure that through some kind of weightlifting or running up and down with yourself. That's a misconception. After you do this, you can swim more, run more, walk better, because your lungs know how to take in the air. Right? Easy. And it goes all the way down to the air sacs, the alveoli, which is what gets strengthened. That air exchange, the oxygen, you get more oxygen into your heart, and then when it comes back around into the other ventricle, more carbon comes back into the lungs that you breathe out. Easy, easy. Now, bring your head toward the other shoulder, your ear, and let the elbow go up toward the ceiling. And again, inhale, make it long. Inhale, make it long. Now, don't pull the head. The head stays. You don't pull the head. You don't pull it with your hand. Your head stays over to the right ear toward the right shoulder. With the same arm is up there. The left arm is up, and you go over toward. And if you only go a little, if I can only go that much, that's all I go. If I only go that much, if I can go that much, whatever. But it's only it's just, you can only go as much as you can open up your ribs and your shoulder blade. That's the whole point here, right? And then you expand the lung into that area. That's right, easy, good. Good, let that come down. Interlace your fingers, put them behind your head. Let your head hang down, bring your elbows down. And feel now if your lungs, when you inhale, jump a little, if your head doesn't jump a little, if your shoulder blades, right? Just see if there's some movement as the lungs elongate. Easy. Easy, easy, very easy. Good. Let it go. Lie on your backs and rest. And in resting, pay attention, obviously, to your breathing? What's different? So as you inhale now, very softly, very lightly, feel both lungs elongate, both lungs expand. Not from taking in more breath, from breathing in softer and easier short breath. Your lungs will pull all the breath it needs in that little short breath. It's a fallacy that the more I breathe in air, the more breath goes into my lung. It's a fallacy. It actually is just the opposite. Pull in all the breath your lung needs, that little, because that's how you breathe most of the day if you pay attention, and that's the best way. We want the natural. We don't want the unnatural, making myself breathe deep. You can't make yourself breathe deeply. Forget that. I hope you've learned that today. And just feel your lungs inside expand and retract as you breathe. Make a sensory impression inside you. The chest doesn't need to move. The abdomen doesn't need to move. Just the lung inside you. And listen now. Every time you take that small little breath and you feel nothing else move but the lung, you're breathing deeper. Every time you take in that small little breath, every time you exhale on that small little breath, you're exhaling more out, more carbon. And that's how you speak well. Nobody needs to go like, I got to take in this big breath to say this sentence. That's not how you speak well. You speak well by taking the most efficient breath, and it activates the voice box. That's the only place in the body where your lung is attached to you, at the voice box. Otherwise, it's just on its own. I love it. It's kind of like autonomous, not attached. Yeah, feel your breathing. Now, just to finish now, nice and easy. As you inhale, smile to yourself, those short little inhalations. Feel the expansion go into a smile. Come on. Feel the expansion go into a smile. Feel the expansion. This is the best part right here. If you can't, feel the expansion go into a smile. If you could start to sense what your lungs do that contribute to your smiling, you would have a different smile. How the lungs affect all the cells in your body smile. Not just a few cells over here, or the cells in your lungs, or the cells in your eyes, or your mouth, or your nose, or your elbows. All the cells in your body respond to smiling, as they do also to the opposite, right? So smile to yourself as you inhale. Feel that. Put that together for yourself, that smiling energy. Now, some of you, as soon as I used that word energy, you did something different. You started to add to it. You think that energy is like this, it's like gas. You throw some more gas on the fire. No, don't do that. It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. Energy is best unfettered. It's just natural. You don't need to add. Babies smile naturally and they cry naturally. And both of those processes stay with us for the rest of our lives. Slowly in your own time, you will please come up to sitting with yourself. See, pay attention to your lungs as you're moving. As soon as you do abrupt movements, anything abrupt, you can't pay attention to yourself. You can't pay attention to your organs. You can't pay attention to natural processes. As soon as you move abruptly, as soon as you need to move quickly, fast, this and that, you lose attention. Come to standing with yourself. And just feel what it's like to stand. And just notice now your breathing. What does your breathing feel like right now? Does it feel fast and labored or slow and easy? Pay attention. What does your breathing feel like? So now maybe you know what Feldenkrais means by slowly. It's not just about duration in time. The whole process of slowness, fullness, elongation, smiling. And now you walk around with that feeling. Just walk around. And you walk around feeling yourself easy. You take your time. Feel your lungs. Let them expand and contract inside you as you walk. Some of you need to really stop yourself from thinking you're walking and doing it. If you're not feeling the lungs, that's right, take your time. Really feel the lungs. Stop yourself. Let your lungs, relax your hands, please. Let your lungs, feel them inside as they expand and contract, and then walk and see if you can keep that feeling going, even for a step. Some of you think you just did 10 steps and you're doing it. You're not. Just see if you could do it for 2 steps. Okay. So,